For fundamental truths. AD on the radio.
Every day you're going and working, running that rat race and that pace and that place will leave a bad taste for anyone, everyone working day after day. So buddy, I gotta say for you, there's gotta be a better way, yeah. And you do what they told ya, company man, feel it, a mindless little soldier. How can you live like that and maintain your composure before it's begun? Your life's already freaking over, yeah. I do what I want, when I want, how I want.
So, generally speaking, you hear this show making an absolute effort to play devil's advocate. You hear this show making an absolute effort to understand someone else's point of view. There's very few things that I actually get on a high horse and am judgmental about. I'm not on a high horse about this. I'm really not. It's just, I'm going to call this one what it is. Something that's doing way more damage than it is good. Some people think the holiday cups at Starbucks this year not Christmassy enough. The guy behind all this is this internet minister. Guy called, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, Joshua Feuerstein. I'm not going to do him the dignity of pronouncing it correctly or trying to figure out how to pronounce it correctly. But you know, the whole sort of like brouhaha over the holiday cups at Starbucks not being Christmassy enough and this being a part of the war on Christmas. This is the deal. In case you missed it, Starbucks rolled out their new holiday cups. They went with plain old red. Just a bright red cup like you're drinking at a college frat party with a green Starbucks logo. Red and green. Christmassy enough, I suppose. Didn't really give it a whole lot of thought. And in the past, they've had snowflakes and a dog sled and a snowman or ornaments. So there's some people, though, who are outraged. Specifically, people who think that the lack of any Christmas stuff on the cups is a sign that Starbucks has joined the, and I quote, war on Christmas. They are Satan's servant, and they're going after Christmas and Christians, and they're showing this by having a red cup without a snowman on it. Now, it's not like Starbucks was ever super Christmas-oriented with their cups. It's mostly generic winter stuff, and you could argue that they just went minimalistic this year, probably cut down a lot on printing costs. Look, if you've ever had T-shirts or something like that printed up, you know the less processes on a T-shirt, the cheaper it's going to be. The less times you got to stamp it with something, the cheaper it's going to be. So a company the size of Starbucks going with something minimalistic as opposed to something with a bit of an ornate design on it probably saves them millions in printing. But, you know, potato. Why think that far into it? They went minimalistic, which, besides being way cheaper, is a trend in modern design. But that's the deal. But now there's this topic trending on Twitter and Facebook to tell your barista that your name is Merry Christmas, to get them to write that on the cup. All comes from this internet chucklehead minister, Joshua Feuerstein, for, I don't know, piece of human garbage, I think would be an acceptable substitute for learning how to pronounce his last name. This is his deal. Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? Josh Feuerstein here. You know, I think in the age of political correctness, we become so open-minded, our brains have literally fallen out of our head. Do you realize that Starbucks wanted to take Christ and Christmas off of their brand new cups? That's why they're just plain red. In fact, do you realize that Starbucks isn't allowed to say Merry Christmas to customers? Well, I decided, instead of simply boycotting, well, why don't we just start a movement? So when I went in and I asked for my coffee, they asked for my name, and I told them my name is Merry Christmas. So guess what? Starbucks, I tricked you into putting Merry Christmas on your cup. And I'm challenging all great Americans and Christians around this great nation, go into Starbucks and take your own coffee selfie. And then I challenge you to not only share this video so that the word gets out, but let's start a movement. And let's call it, I don't know, hashtag Merry Christmas Starbucks. And I know that by sharing this video and getting other Christians to do it, well, I guarantee that we can make this go around the world. And Starbucks, guess what? Just to offend you, I made sure to wear my Jesus Christ shirt into your store. And since you hate the Second Amendment, I even carried my gun. Yikes. Anyways, guys, please take a moment. Choose to not be politically correct. Just correct. Share the video, like, comment below. I want to know your thoughts. God bless. Have a really, really beautiful day.
Just absolutely. Ugh, shut up. Shut the hell up. You're an idiot. You're a moron. You're less than a moron. You're a freaking moron wrapped in an idiot dipped in ignorance. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You time-wasting, snarky, snide, trolling, detestable, unchristian, unkind, inhuman, moronic, two-faced, hypocritical, sanctimonious, self-righteous waste of skin, air, sperm, and column inches. Shut up. This is why you simpletons are everything wrong with Christianity. It's people like this guy that make people ashamed to say that they're Christian. Where in the Bible does it say to try and snarkily one-up coffee companies in the name of the Lord? I'll answer that one for you. It doesn't. Keep the Christ in Christmas. This is why it sucks to be a Christian in 2015. Wingnuts like this guy, who are 100% in it for the money, are what people assume you are when you say, I'm Christian. And by the way, this guy is in it for the money. He's a talentless fame whore. No discernible skills, no real gift. He realized that luckily for him, there's large numbers of cross-burning, non-opposable, thumb-having, semi-evolved husbands and sister wives who have internet connections and PayPal accounts. This is a sort of freaking pandering, moronic, gotcha Christianity, because, you know, the Lord wants to be like, ha ha ha, gotcha, hashtag, suck it. This is a sort of pandering, moronic, gotcha Christianity that's ruined it for the folks that do have their hearts in the right place. Because that's what the Holy Spirit's all about. I tricked you. I'm smarter than you. I got you to write my name on a cup. That's what Jesus was after. Jesus' big goal for you was to get you to sneakily get Starbucks baristas to write his name on a cup. This brand of Christianity is big, big business. It's all about the money. And I'll tell you why I know this next.
iHeartRadio puts the spotlight on Bon Jovi. 1988's New Jersey hit number one in both the U.S. and in the U.K. and had 2 more number one hits in Bad Medicine and I'll Be There For You. The band mounted a massive tour of more than 22 countries and 232 shows, including a sold-out homecoming at Giant Stadium in New Jersey. Following 16 months of non-stop touring, Bon Jovi's members were exhausted, and the band went their separate ways in 1990 with no future plans. They worked out their differences and released Keep the Faith in 1992, but the album was a letdown from New Jersey, though Bed of Roses hit number 10 on the charts. In 1994, Bon Jovi had its first lineup change when bassist Such was fired from the band and unofficially replaced by Hugh McDonald. McDonald's first album was 1995's These Days, which hit number one in the UK and Japan, but was considered a disappointment in the US. Following the album's release, the members of Bon Jovi took a 2-year hiatus. All things Bon Jovi. Info, music, and more are on iHeartRadio. Keyword Bon Jovi.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to discuss that even though there were generational difficulties, his father was always quite supportive.
You know, you've got to understand, I'm sure it's the same over here, but in the UK, in England, you know, that generational change from my father's era to my era, you know, he was the English Empire days, 2 world wars. It was hard to communicate. There was a big divide between us. It's just, there was no dialogue really. You couldn't discuss things because there was no sort of platform to share conversations on. But no, he was supportive, and in a way, you know, given that he hadn't got a clue what I was doing, you know, what parent did in those days, you know, music, long hair and a guitar, he was given that. He was very supportive.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford and all your favorite artists.
Like most kids from a privileged white upper-middle-class suburban background, for a significant portion of his childhood, he was pretty convinced he was down. AD on the radio.
Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah, yeah. You've been talking about me for a long time.
By the way, we're joined on the show today by super broadcaster Dave Hines. He is in the studio.
We've got a lot of guesties in the studio.
Yeah, oh, more than one?
Well, just
me.
one, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And B-Funk.
One guestie.
We are joined by Dave Hines today, who very, very talented broadcaster from up the hall. He's on radio stations all across America, and he's sort of like hanging out, sitting in, preparing to fill in for Funkhauser when Funkhauser decides to become a game show millionaire. When do you go on? What's it?
Tomorrow is my call time for a game show called Idiot Test on GSN, and they haven't really said we're going to be on the show or not, but they said bring 5 outfits and dress for television, so I don't know what's going to happen. Call time is like 6 a.m. We're supposed to be there for 12 hours, so now I think I get how we lose. Because they make you wait for 5 or 6 hours. But wish me luck. I'll be there tomorrow.
Well, when you become... who was the guy that won Jeopardy over and over again? Ken Jennings?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you become the Ken Jennings of Idiot Test, we're going to need someone to fill in for you. And for that reason, we're having Dave Hines hang out today. We are incredibly blessed in the Christian sense to have Dave Hines here, a talent like you wouldn't believe.
I appreciate that.
And he brought a really high-powered microphone,
That's
too,
right.
that I don't know how to use yet.
Well, I don't know. It's just a microphone. You're just talking to it.
You know you're a pro when you have your own microphone. I don't have my own microphone.
I'm scared to touch the other ones. People spit on them.
So intimidated.
Let's try you without that microphone. Let's try you without that microphone.
Okay.
Turn the mic off.
Okay.
Hey, how's it go? Hey, how'd you do that?
Pretty weird, huh?
Oh, turn it back on. Wow. Adds a lot of bottom to your voice.
That's right. It really has a lot of extra EQ stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, all right. Back to why we hate this guy so much, and we do hate him. He is a detestable toad of a human being. Josh Feuerstein, the guy who started the hashtag Merry Christmas Starbucks campaign, because it's the level at which he finds himself to be clever that I find to be most offensive as a broadcaster, as a person that makes my living off of being clever. To see this knuckle dragger beast, oh my God, he's just got the most. I'm looking at his face now, and it's so punch me. In case you're just joining us, this is the guy that started the campaign to to have you go up to. Well, you listen for yourself.
Hey guys, what's up? Josh Feuerstein here. You know, I think in the age of political correctness, we become so open-minded, our brains have literally fallen out of our head. Do you realize that Starbucks wanted to take Christ and Christmas off of their brand new cups? That's why they're just plain red. In fact, do you realize that Starbucks isn't allowed to say Merry Christmas to customers? Well, I decided, instead of simply boycotting, well, why don't we just start a movement? So when I went in and I asked for my coffee, they asked for my name, and I told them my name is Merry Christmas. So guess what? Starbucks, I tricked you into putting Merry Christmas on your cup. And I'm challenging all great Americans and Christians around this great nation. Go into Starbucks and take your own coffee selfie. And then I challenge you to not only share this video so that the word gets out.
Yes, challenge to share the video, take your own coffee selfie, trick Starbucks. He's in it for the money. Talentless fame whore, no discernible skills, no gift. He realized that luckily for him, there's large numbers of cross-burning, non-opposable, thumb-having, semi-evolved brusband, sister-wife idiots who have internet connections and PayPal accounts. And this sort of freaking pandering, this gotcha Christianity, as I think I've started calling it, it's so... If you go to his website, and this is 100% about the money, this sort of gotcha Christianity is big, big business. If you go to his website, there's like 3 pieces of information there. And there's 10 places to buy stuff or donate money to him. And this really grinds my gears. I think the thing that set it all off for this human turd is the fact that he started with a video for suicide prevention, like cancel your suicide or something of that nature. And now what he does is he sort of presents himself as a suicide prevention resource and implies that the money that you're donating is going to help people stop offing themselves. But there's no real breakdown of where your idiot dollars go. Why? Because this guy's a swindling, scum-sucking, pig dog, ass-face, money slut, fame whore charlatan that's willing to cash in on the weakness that is the Achilles heel of common sense and logic known as religion. So let me ask you this. If Jesus was to walk the earth today and fancied himself a Frappuccino or something of that, and he entered the nearest Starbucks, what do you suppose would be on his mind? Would he make a move on the closest barista and be like, yeah, right, Merry Christmas on my peppermint mocha, bitch. And then would he be all smug about it and go make a selfie video on the internet?
Jesus has
all his
no
sort of,
whip
like-
on his lattes, by the way, too.
yeah, no whip. Would he wander out and make a selfie video so his moron friends could marvel at the moral victory of making somebody write Christ on a cup? No. Oh, and by the way, idiot, at the very least, Jesus would remember to hold his phone horizontally. Anyways. Such a moron. Jesus, I'm going to go out on a limb and project my vision of Jesus onto you. Jesus would probably be all like, hey, check this out. Give me one biscotti and a grande peppermint mocha. I'm going to feed all the homeless people on this block with it right now. Kapow! Right before your very eyes, Ventis for one and all. Yes. Or maybe Jesus would order his coffee, have a seat, and go, hey, barista, how are you? How's your day been? Why don't you sit with me during your break? Can I get to know you a little bit? Would he not sort of choose to love her or him or whoever it was? Maybe invite her to church? Explain what he did for her on the cross? Out of love, explain grace and mercy? And ask how he could serve her with the same humility that he demonstrated 2,000 years ago? That's sort of what I think Christ would do if he was walking the earth at the moment. Every year around this time. You hear it over and over again. Certain circles of Christianity call for boycotts against companies that don't use the term Christmas. You don't have the word Christmas in your displays, your advertising, on your cups. If you're not allowing the expression Merry Christmas as an interaction between customers and employees, you're part of the war on Christmas. That's a myth. The message of Jesus is one of selflessness. The message of Jesus, as I see it, is all about treating your neighbor as you would want to be treated. Jesus, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jesus taught his followers that people will recognize his truth through how we treat one another. A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples. If you love one another, by this everyone will know that you are my disciples. John 13:34. And lo, thou shalt not waste everyone's time with stupid videos on the internet where you do foolhardily claim to trick a barista into writing my name on a paper cup. They knoweth what you are up to. They thinketh you are an idiot, and you maketh us all look really, really bad. Asshat. AD 2015. It's my new version of the Bible that I work on. The reason Jesus was born in a manger, I think, the reason Jesus was born in a manger, he's the king of all kings, but the reason he was born in a manger was because, well, he was conceived by the Holy Spirit to an unwed teen. What was his job, his gig? Jesus was a carpenter. All of the above, not especially high and mighty things. Not because he didn't deserve all the glory that we in this day and age, 2,000 years later, are willing to heap on him. The glory of an eternal king. I think it's because God wanted his life to model a new kind of thinking and living. Jesus humbled himself so he could reach people in their world. So let me ask you this. What kind of message does it send if we pressure privately owned businesses, which cater to people of all faiths and all background? What kind of message does it send if Christians pressure privately owned businesses that are dealing with people of every faith, every creed, every religion, to only acknowledge your own beliefs? What does it say? I'm not entirely sure that's what Jesus wanted. You're supposed to love one another the way he loves you. I don't think he encourages his followers to boycott local businesses. And, it's been a while since I've gone through the Old Testament or the New Testament with a fine-tooth comb, but I've yet to find many hashtag or pranking movements in there. Look, no one's forcing you to hide your faith or hide your personal truth. But if you're a Christian, I think the way that you're going to reach out to people is going to be through your individual relationships, not by grandstanding on the internet. Imagine for a second the response. Imagine, just imagine, say Feuerstein, I don't know, asshat, walked into a Starbucks and he was part of a different religion. He got somebody to write a religious phrase from a different faith on the cup. What then? A lot of Americans are Christians. American history, American government, I mean, as much as I try, can't seem to get the two separated. Church and state seem to be irrevocably committed to one another in this country. And by the way, the rest of the civilized world looks at us like we're picking fleas off of one another and eating them when we bring religion into our politics the way we do, because it's so under-evolved. But whatever, that's a whole different conversation. But American history, American politics, American everything, greatly influenced by people of faith, specifically Christianity. But I'd hazard a guess that if you dig through the Bible, you'd find more than one passage that teaches you that, well, just because you're outnumbered doesn't mean you should be treated differently. Where did it go? Leviticus. And I always have a hard time quoting Leviticus when I'm making a point, only because that's the passage that says, you know, if you wear clothes from Old Navy that are cotton poly blend, that's a sin against God. Clothes of mixed fibers will send you to HE double hockey sticks. But, you know, if you're looking for biblical proof, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you are foreigners in Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Leviticus 19:33. So, now, I've heard the argument over and over again from some people that I actually know and respect. They're like, well, you know, today it's coffee cups. Beheadings tomorrow. Slippery slope. The liberty of religion doesn't go away with diversity. The liberty of religion goes away when one segment of a diverse society decides that everybody else should do what they say to do. Christmas should teach us that we should love one another, that we should preach the good news. Even if that means being humbling yourself in the process. Blessed are the meek, you know? Meek up. Spread the word, the truth, the love by humbling yourself. Even if that means humbling yourself in the process, that's the way to go about it. But that's the thing about this particular brand of Christians. They don't do that humble thing that Jesus taught all that well. Now, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy a sip of my delicious Starbucks Christmas blend coffee. Yeah. They didn't notice that one, did they? Idiots. Let that sink in. Amen. All right, I'm done.
Next message.
I'm done. Okay. We'll get into the events of today in our segment, My Witness News, in just a little bit. We'll talk to super broadcaster to the stars, Dave Hines, who has graced us with his presence in just a little bit as well. Thank you so much for hanging out, joining the conversation at ADSXE, at Funk FM. Dave Hines, where can people tweet you?
At Hines, US 97.
Yeah, buddy.
USA Radio News. I'm Melody Burkett. Tonight's fourth Republican debate could feature more fireworks as candidates try to gain ground in the polls. Donald Trump and Ben Carson are the frontrunners, and pundits say Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, Carly Fiorina, Ted Cruz, John Kasich, and Rand Paul might use the opportunity to take a swing at the favorites. Due to falling poll numbers, Chris Christie and Mike Huckabee have been bounced out of the main debate. They'll take part in an earlier undercard debate with Bobby Jindal and Rick Santorum. An appeals court is dealing a blow to one of President Obama's executive actions on immigration. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has upheld an injunction to Obama's order to block deportation for millions of illegal immigrants. The action was challenged by 26 states, all of which are led by Republican governors. The Obama administration has argued that it's within its rights to protect some groups of immigrants from being deported. This is USA Radio News. I'm Melody Burkett.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This means more urges to urinate, longer bathroom trips, waking at night to urinate, or issues with sex. If this sounds familiar, call us now, because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to listeners of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-391-6916. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to urinate, improve bladder emptying, reduce waking at night to urinate, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for listeners of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait. Just call 1-800-391-6916. That's 1-800-391-6916. Call 1-800-391-6916.
Trending. This update is brought to you by TrueCar. Find the new car you want, see what others paid, and lock in guaranteed savings from TrueCar certified dealers. Save time, save money, and never overpay. Download the TrueCar app today. In the NFL on Monday Night Football, the Bears rally in the fourth quarter to beat the Chargers 22-19. The final, Chicago outscoring San Diego 15-3 in that final quarter. Jay Cutler had a pair of touchdown passes in the win as Chicago improves to 3-5 with the loss. San Diego drops to 2-7. They've lost 5 in a row. Denver Broncos defensive back Aqib Talib has been suspended for 1 game for his eye gouge. A Colts tight end Dwayne Allen Sunday. Talib says he's going to appeal the suspension. In baseball, it's being reported that Colorado Rockies shortstop Jose Reyes was arrested on Halloween in Hawaii for allegedly grabbing his wife by the throat and shoving her into a sliding glass door. In NBA action, the Warriors are still undefeated, now 8-0 after a 109-95 win over the Pistons. I'm Eddie Garcia.
iHeartRadio shines the spotlight on John Mellencamp.
John Mellencamp formed his first band, Crate Soul, at the age of 14, and later played in the local bands Trash, Snake Pit Banana Barn, and the Mason Brothers. Shortly after graduating from college in 1974, John would travel back and forth from the Indiana music scene to New York City in hopes of jump-starting his career. He was first cast in the mid-70s as a corn-fed glam rocker, Johnny Cougar, who shared management with David Bowie. Next, he became a journeyman rock and roller, his first name now shortened to John. In 1979, he released his self-titled album, and it spawned the hit, I Need a Lover. Mellencamp titled the following album, Nothing Else Matters and What If It Did? And that statement reflected his basic disenchantment. In 1982, however, he crossed over to the big time with American Fool, which topped the charts for 9 weeks and yielded the mega hits Hurt So Good and Jack and Diane.
A little ditty about Jack and Diane. 2 American kids doing the best they can.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more John Mellencamp and all your favorite artists. iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to discuss the art of songwriting.
I've learned one thing over the years is that actually you can't control it. You can't force it. You can't analyze it. You can't worry about it. You just go and have a good time and mess around, and then something comes along and you grab it. You know, it's something intangible. And if you try and make a program how to do it and do it better, you get lost. So it's like a free-form thing, which you can't control. You just let it ride or not ride. And if it's not working, then you just have a break. That's what I've learned.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford and all your favorite artists.
Now, more AD on the radio.
Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD again. nobody rock a party better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering it in your music will save you. Back once again, it's your boy AD again. Nobody rock a party better than me.
So let's continue, shall we? Let's yeah, I thought I had some stuff to add. I'm not so sure that I do. You know, let's admit. Is that enough, Funkhauser? Should I give?
Good to me. Yeah, just move
okay.
on.
Oh yeah. Shut up. If I can't contain
point
myself,
received.
Next message.
I did have one thing to say about that guy, though, that
Please do.
Just came
Dave
to
Hines.
me. Remember back in the day when we used to watch professional wrestling and they would be smack talking to the camera at the end? He sounds like the old ones, not the good ones that you see on TV now, but the old guys that didn't quite have their smack talk game down yet. Let me tell you something, brother. You walk right in there to the Starbucks and you tell them that your name is Jesus because they have to write it down on the cup. It's state law, and then they will go out there. They will recognize Christmas if you make them do it. You shove their face right in the Christmas.
Yeah, you shut their face.
John
right
3:16.
I'm going to tell you something, brother. I've got a whole new book of Gospels right here, and it starts with me writing Jesus on coffee cups at Starbucks.
You know, it's just manufactured outrage is such humongous business. It really is. Like fake. Like if this guy couldn't give a crap, he's in it for the money, and that's it.
Yes.
Like, and he's attempting to be the next generation's Ann Coulter. I think is what Coulter. Like
yeah, except that she's really smart. And
well,
he's not.
yeah. Ann Coulter, by the way, for people that don't know, makes a very tidy living. Thank you very much through inflammatory sound bites. Like my favorite Ann Coulter quote is, "God gave us the earth." We have what was it? Like she said, "God gave us the earth, rape it." Like what? Hold on, let me look this up because it's my favorite. I was like, damn, I could be driving a much nicer car if I could lower myself to this kind of crap. God gave us the earth. We have dominion over the plants, the animals, the trees. God said, "Earth is yours. Take it, rape it. It's yours." Like when people like these write their speeches, the Ann Coulter process and the Josh, however the hell you pronounce his asshat last name, when they write their speeches, the Ann Coulter creative process goes, I believe something like this: is okay. We can do what we want with the earth. No. God said we can do what we want with the earth. And when you throw God in there, that always raises a few hackles. And what's another good word that will disgruntle some masses and lead to web clicks and viral videos and notoriety? What do people respond to almost as strongly as God? I know, rape. Rape's like a great word for grabbing attention in headlines. If I can work rape into the same sentence as God, man, that would be saying something. I know, God says we can rape the earth. There you go. Fantastic. And you magnificent bastard, you're off to the races. And if you can throw in something about, sort of like global warming and climate change and all of the above, then wow, right in time for Christmas, your price to speak at gun rallies goes the hell up. So it's good stuff. It's 100% money based. And I didn't do a very good job of stopping, did I, Funkhauser? We should probably do the news.
Just roll right in.
Message.
And now,
okay, good.
Our segment, My Witness News, in no way, shape, or form fair, certainly not balanced, with guest reader of the news, super broadcaster Dave Hines.
Thank you. Well, hackers have posted the names of alleged KKK members now online. We now know. Unhooded.
It was anonymous. Very good. Very good. Well played, Dave Hines. It was anonymous. Anonymous did it.
Yes.
Anonymous is a fascinating organization. It really is. Because, is it all... It's all digital, right? They rarely take to the streets.
Right.
Am I correct in thinking that?
Yes. They pretty much are a consortium. That's how they gain their power, is that we don't really know who they are.
Yeah, they're hacktivists.
Yes.
And, they really seem to be really good at what they do. I gotta say, there's probably sort of bigger and more evil targets that they could put their sights on than the KKK. Have you ever been to the KKK website?
I grew up just miles away from it, so I've seen it. Yes.
You've seen the website? Or?
I've seen I grew up miles away from where their headquarters is, supposedly in Arkansas, but I've seen the website too.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Are you going to it now? Are you going to get us all in trouble with the IT department now?
You know what? It actually didn't click right through as well. Like there was checking your browser before letting you into this. See, this is what I thought. The way the KKK presents themselves, because it's 2015 and you can't just be like, yeah, burn the cross, lynch the people that are a different color than us. You can't do that anymore. They present themselves as an organization of love. Welcome to the Ku Klux Klan website, Loving Our Family. There is a race war against whites. Yeah. We stay committed to a nonviolent resolution. Like, they're all about love and solidarity and nonviolent resolutions. Like, that's how the KKK presents himself in this day and age. And, they just can't be the KKK of old. So I got to imagine there's greater evils that the anonymous folks could turn their sights on than this. But, yeah. They posted the names of alleged KKK members. Between the Ashley Madison leak and this, you can't get away with anything under the sheets anymore.
Oh.
Go on.
All right. Kate Winslet has banned her kids from social media now.
Yeah. So I got to imagine. Do you have kids, Dave Hines?
I don't.
You don't?
But I have good friends that have them, and I'd like to have kids someday.
Yeah. I have to imagine, and maybe you've talked to your friends with kids about this. I got to imagine that the biggest challenge that a parent in the year 2015 can take on is the challenge of parenting in the digital age. Like, how do you even begin to think what you are going to limit your kids to in terms of what they can access on the interwebs between phones and all the other devices that can access the interwebs now? And then how do you even begin to enforce it? It's insane. Like, I don't know how I have younger cousins, 13, 14-year-old cousins that are just sort of only now being allowed on Facebook. And their mom's super strict with it. And she makes it clear. She's like, this phone and everything on it is mine. And she does random spot checks on their stuff. Not in a crazy invasive way, but pick up the phone. What's my kid been doing? I'm sure there's apps that trace their browser history and stuff like that. But
right.
It's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge staying on top of every new app and what it does and what it's for. I can't imagine. I don't know. I would imagine that in a day and age where you cannot limit what your kids see and do online, it's that much more important to be involved in their lives. Because otherwise, they're just going to get carried off. But yeah, Kate Winslet bans her kids from social media. Why? Because she says it can lead to low self-esteem and eating disorders. And also, in her case, seeing your mom getting drawn naked by Leonardo DiCaprio.
About a romantic encounter with a transvestite makes number 2 UK and number 9 US. In July, the Stooges released their second album on Elektra Records, Fun House, and British band Mungo Jerry are number 1 in the UK, number 3 in the US with the single In the Summertime.
Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find.
In August, Eric Clapton releases his first solo album and scores a top 20 hit with his cover of J.J. Cale's After Midnight. Neil Diamond scores his first number 1 with Cracklin' Rosie. September of 1970, Neil Young has a top 10 album with After the Gold Rush. War, an anti-war protest song by Edwin Starr, tops the charts.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1970. Coming up. iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to discuss the art of songwriting.
I've learned one thing over the years is that actually you can't control it. You can't force it. You can't analyze it. You can't worry about it. You just go and have a good time and mess around, and then something comes along and you grab it. It's something intangible. And if you try and make a program how to do it and do it better, you get lost. So it's like a free-form thing, which you can't control. You just let it ride or not ride. And if it's not working, then you just have a break. That's what I've learned.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford and all your favorite artists.
Now, someone who everybody wants to punch in the face. AD on the radio.
Rock your radio, rock your radio, it's on your radio, your radio, your radio. Rock your radio, rock your radio.
I'd like to point out the huge dichotomy that exists in corporate America. We were talking about Kate Winslet's boobs and how a big part of the reason she might want to limit her kids' access to the internet and social media is because you don't want your kids to see you getting sketched naked by Leonardo DiCaprio. Hence, let's keep you off the interwebs for a little while. And what the hell was? Oh, that was me.
Sorry.
Funkhauser just sent me a link. And I was like, what's this? And it actually blocked me from seeing it. I was like, what'd you just send me? He was like, Kate Winslet's boobs. I was like, don't send me that stuff at work. I'll get in trouble. And he was just like, well, you just looked up the KKK. I was like, interestingly enough, browser went right to it. Looking up the KKK online in the workplace, that's A-OK. Looking up Kate Winslet's boobs, not so much. Boobies, no. Hate groups, yes. It's the odd dichotomy.
Sad.
Roy Shelton pointed out that wouldn't Kate Winslet need to ban her kids from the Google image search? Yes, she probably
and
would.
VHS players.
And
Don't put in that second tape of Titanic. You can't unsee some things.
Oh, wow. Hey, Mom, he really was the king of the world. Go on.
Justin Bieber stormed out of a concert in Norway.
Yeah, so in your face, everybody who accuses Justin Bieber of being an entitled brat.
This is uncalled for. I'm leaving.
Why did he do it?
Where's my towel and my water bottle?
Because he's a terrible human being. He is a lesbian, haircutted spawn of Satan sent to Earth by Canada to ruin everything for all of us, and he must be stopped. Everyone was like, oh, he's just a talented kid that got lucky enough to be discovered on the YouTubes, and now he's supporting his mom. No! He is sent to Earth to destroy us, and he must be stopped. I said this when he first came out. I maintain this story now, although it's a lot easier to convince people that he's awful because, the awful behavior has evidenced himself. He was like a really kind of sweet 16-year-old kid because they managed to they managed to sort of like squash down the videos of him using the N-word and laughing about it for a couple of years, and then that stuff started coming out, and he started spitting on fans and peeing in restaurants.
Where's my Chrome Fisker?
Yeah. Where's my Chrome?
I need to go. Where's my Chrome Fisker at? Vroom, vroom.
Where's my oil drum of codeine cough syrup, my South American hooker, and my Chrome Fisker? These are all, it sounds funny, but it's true. Every single one of those things is true. All right, go on. Let's continue with the news. By the way, if you're just joining us, the voice that you don't recognize is Dave Hines. He is a super broadcaster to the stars, and he makes me and Funkhauser feel about 12 years old when he gets on the air and talks to us, because, he talks. Say something, Dave Hines.
Hello, everybody.
Now say something,
Funkhauser. Can you say the word Sunday thrice for me?
Oh, yeah, Sunday.
Oh, that's
is that
good.
what you wanted? I just went straight for the jugular, right? Yeah. Okay, so there's another story that I always suspected this during the 80s, and now Boy George is confirming. He says that he once had sex with Prince.
Define sex.
I don't know. I bet with them it's probably something transcendent.
Cutting flowers.
Whatever it is.
You know what? That was really good because you're like, that's something trans. I was like, uh-oh. And you're like, sendant. Transcendent. I was like, look at him pulling our fat out of the politically correct fire. Well done.
Did you see what I did there?
Yeah, very, very clever. I really feel like I'm doing radio on the edge of my seat at the moment. It's good stuff. Yep, Boy George said he had sex with Prince. And by the way, if it shocks you, it's time to schedule a tune-up for your gaydar. Really? Prince and Boy George? Huh, that's puzzling. No, it's not.
Ooh.
Go on.
Okay, Kenny G says he plans to hold a saxophone note throughout an entire flight. He's going to hold a note on a saxophone through an entire flight to set a world record.
Yeah, as we've said in the past when we've talked about this on the air, if this story interests you, there is a 100% chance that you are Kenny G. And by the way, this is a record he already holds. And it actually kind of the science of how he does this is very interesting because, how can you hold a note constantly? He can do this thing, which must make him very popular with the ladies, called circular breathing. where you don't actually have to give your mouth any rest to take a breath. Like it's a people that play brass and wind instruments can learn to do it. But I think it's like crinkling your tongue or rolling your R's and having earlobes. I think it's sort of like a genetic thing. Like either you can do it or you can't, and you can't learn to do it. You have to learn to do it. But someone that can't do it can never sort of like inherit the skill or pick up the skill. I don't know.
Well, when you're playing a wind instrument, you fill your cheeks with air at that point, and you push the air out of your cheeks as you're breathing in through your nose. That's how that works.
Oh, can you do that?
I've tried a lot. I'm one of those people who can barely do it, and I definitely can't do it like Kenny G.
Do you play a wind instrument?
I grew up playing the trombone.
Careful.
I know that's the trombone.
Not the same way that Boy George played the trombone,
Careful.
but nevertheless musical.
No one's ever wooed a woman with the trombone.
Actually, the guy from not Yellow Card.
Oh.
Similar. Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. I knew it was an emo-y band from the early 2000s with a color in the name. The guy from Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Yeah.
Credit where credit is due. I remember, he played a festival at one of the stations that I worked for once, and nice guy, and he was there with his wife, who was kind of smoking hot, as you would expect a rock star's wife to be. And I was like, so where'd you guys meet? They're like, oh, man, we met in band class in high school. I was like, you met in band class? They're like, yeah, we were both in band and marching band and stuff. And I was like, what did you play in band class? And he was like, oh, I was a tuba player. I played first tuba. And she was like, yeah, he's a really good tuba player. I was like, the list of rock stars that got chicks by playing the tuba, probably a short one. So well done.
Swag.
Yeah, a lot of people go into it and think that they can get chicks through heavy metal. You got it through weighty brass. So good job for you. That's awesome. So yeah, Kenny G plans to hold a saxophone note through an entire flight in order to set a world record. He already holds this record, by the way. He's just breaking his existing record. And the record, by the way, is highest amount of people that have wanted to kill themselves at the same time.
And it's going to be on a flight this time.
Yeah, literally no escape.
No escape.
I wonder if you get a discount. Like, today's entertainment is Kenny G holding a note for the entire duration of the flight. Like, can you imagine being the person that sat next to him? It's just like, you got to give me my money back. This is like...
And the flight attendants will be coming around with complimentary hearing protection.
Yeah.
And other music-related news... Vanilla Ice turned 48 on Saturday.
Ooh, take heed.
Yeah.
He's a lyrical poet.
Yeah. So 48. I think that's like a year for each dollar left in his bank account at this stage in the game.
Hey, I build houses now, fool.
Oh. Yeah. Did you see he got in trouble for stealing stuff from a
I
vacant
didn't say
lot
I paid
or
for
something?
materials.
Yeah, gangster. Oh, man. Vanilla Ice, actually...
Remember his real name?
I really have. Yeah, Rob Van Winkle.
Yeah.
I saw him play a little while ago, like a few years back. Freaking great. One of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. It was like going to a 90s sort of like horrorcore show. He kind of like never evolved past because he came out being the all singing, all dancing Vanilla Ice that he was. And then he thought that was bunk and decided to go for this fake gangster ass image. And he kind of never evolved past the fake gangster-ass image. And he's very big with, the Juggalo crowd now. Like, he'll go play with Insane Clown Posse, and they eat that stuff up they eat the Vanilla Ice up with a spoon. Go figure. But credit where credit is due. I mean, look, you play shows for 20 years, you probably get good at it. And his show was a great one. And in fact, when my band was still going, we played with Vanilla Ice, and he killed it. We're just like, wow, Vanilla Ice is doing a really great job. This is going to make us up our game. Weirdly enough, who'd have thunk it? So, yeah. Sorry, Vanilla. Go on.
All right. Now, it was revealed that the NFL swept the New York Jets locker room for bugs before they played the Patriots last Sunday.
Yeah.
Spy bugs or roaches?
Well, I mean... There's been all these allegations of cheating in the NFL. People left, right, and center. There's all these different accusations of people managing to get a hold of plays ahead of time, or under pumping the balls, so to speak, and all the above. And so, the NFL swept the New York Jets locker room for bugs, thinking that the Patriots were bugging them. The only thing they found that gave the Patriots an unfair advantage, though, I think, was that they're the New York Jets and they were the New England Patriots. It's kind of clear what's going. We know how this is going to end. Go on.
Both winners of yesterday's New York City Marathon were Kenyan. Big win for Kenya. Always.
Yeah, big win for Kenya. Even bigger win for stereotypes. Go on.
Yay!
Zombie contact lenses. I'm worried about this. Zombie contact lenses left a woman with partial blindness after Halloween.
Yeah. Have you
halfway
have
there?
You ever, now you say you worry about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you wear contact lenses to make your eyes look different than they are for like Halloween and stuff? Have you ever gone with that?
I don't because I'm scared that it will make my eyes fall out.
Yeah. Have you worn like normal lenses before?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's your eyes. It's your freaking eyes. Yeah. Like if you're getting something that you're putting in your eyes, not from an optometrist, it seems like a bad idea right off the bat. Yeah, it's just not smart. I've got a friend at the office who has like the craziest blue eyes. I was like, your eyes are really something, like, I want you to hear this. And this is not in an HR sort of violating sort of way, but your eyes are kind of like really, and she was like, oh yeah, they're contacts. I was like, but
every day?
Why? Yeah, every day. Yeah. I was like,
because I wish I was born different.
I guess so. It's just a strange thing to me. It's like, I get it if it's fancy dress or costume party or something like that, but I don't get the who knows.
Some people go all out, man.
Yeah. But yeah, this chick who had the zombie contact lenses for Halloween, she was left partially blind. On the plus side, next Halloween she can go as Daredevil. Go on.
Experts say, fashion experts.
The Halloween costume with no fear.
Right. Now, fashion experts say that the man bun isn't going anywhere. Yeah.
It's staying on the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that, like Funkhauser, if you were doing something and someone was like, that causes baldness, you'd stop, right?
Probably, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Depends on what it is.
I mean...
Yeah, it depends on what it is.
Depends on what it is, yeah. If you were doing something... Yeah, actually, yeah. What would it be worth? Okay, hold on. If I'm...
I don't know.
What would you trade your hair for?
Like yeah, I'm going bald. All right.
Yeah, I'm going bald. All right. If then
free
if
Netflix
you do this,
account. All right.
$12 a month. You can steal someone else's password. Let's do an if-then equation.
Mm-hmm.
If you do this, then you'll go bald. Well, I'm going to keep doing that because it's more fun than having hair. Like, what's better than that to you? Like, for you, Funkhauser.
Would you trade your house for hair? Would you get a house trade in all your hair for a house?
No.
I think I would.
No.
I've had a house and hair at the same time, and let me tell you, that's winning.
Overrated. What if making out with Sofia Vergara made you go bald?
Oh, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
I'd be bald. As
just make out? Do you
anything.
get to juggle them? Anything?
Any kind of loving with Sofia Vergara.
To make out, I would have my hairline recede if I got to juggle the Wonderments around a little bit. Yeah, I'd be Bruce Willis in no time flat. The man bun not going anywhere. So neither is our standing as a country, I guess. Have a good one. We'll be back tomorrow and do it all over again.
You know how a lot of times you feel like it's cool to turn the other cheek and give people the benefit of the doubt even when they don't deserve it.